Imagine you get this beautiful cinematic vision in your head.
Right.
A sleek watch resting on black sand, soft golden hour lighting.
You can picture it perfectly.
Right. So you type that into an AI video generator, you hit enter.
And you're expecting something profound.
Exactly. But instead of a Rolex, you get this melting, multi-handed clock straight out of a Dali painting.
Yeah.
It's just a chaotic, morphing mess. Beat.
Why does the machine fail us when we feel like we're being so incredibly clear?
It is such a common frustration. You see it everywhere. The machine just does not understand human nuance. We think we're being precise, but to a computer, our natural language is incredibly messy.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We're really glad you're here with us.
Yeah.
Today, our mission is exploring a fascinating translation problem. We're looking at how we actually communicate with machines.
Right. Specifically through a tool called promptStudio. Yeah. It basically acts as a translator, turning your rough ideas into highly structured technical instructions for AI video models.
It is essentially a bridge. It connects the organic, messy human imagination to the rigid mathematical execution of an AI model.
And right now, that bridge is more important than ever.
It really is.
I have to make a vulnerable admission right here at the start.
Oh.
I still wrestle with getting the AI camera to just stay still without the whole scene melting.
Yeah.
Like, I'll ask for a simple pan, and suddenly the background just turns into soup.
Oh, you are definitely not alone in that. The technology is moving so incredibly fast.
It really is.
I mean, we're seeing models like Veo, Kling, and Seedance achieving highly realistic motion. The visual fidelity is just stunning.
It is. When it works, you get these breathtaking cinematic shots.
Right.
But that's exactly the problem, isn't it? We start here because before we can make good AI video, we have to deeply understand why our natural language fails in the first place.
Exactly. Even the most powerful AI model will produce absolute garbage if the prompt is unclear.
Yeah.
And the truth is, human beings are inherently vague. We speak in broad concepts. We rely heavily on shared context.
Right. Like if I tell a human camera person to, make it look moody,
Yeah.
they know exactly what I mean.
Right, they just do it.
They lower the lights, they change the angle. But an AI doesn't have a lifetime of watching movies to draw from in the same way.
Precisely. Humans often forget the technical details. We completely ignore the lighting setup. We forget to specify the exact camera angle. We leave out the lens type. We just assume the AI will fill in the blanks exactly how we pictured it.
And what happens when the AI tries to fill in those blanks?
It guesses. And, well, it usually guesses wrong.
Yeah.
This happens because of a phenomenon we call token bleeding.
Token bleeding.
Yeah. That is when the AI accidentally mixes up different parts of your prompt.
Let's unpack that a bit.
Sure. So if you type a fast car driving through heavy rain, you know the car is fast and the rain is heavy.
Right.
But the AI reads those tokens, and sometimes it applies the fast concept to the rain.
Oh, wow.
So suddenly the rain starts zooming sideways at 200 miles an hour.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It matches the concepts together because they're sitting right next to each other in a standard English sentence.
Exactly. And that is exactly where promptStudio steps in. It takes your short, vague idea, and it steps in to organize all those parts into a clear structure.
It builds a rigid framework. So the basic workflow kind of goes like this. You start with your simple idea, you feed it into promptStudio, and then it generates a structured JSON prompt, which you then hand to the AI video model to get your final video.
Right. And we should probably define that term real quick for anyone unfamiliar. JSON.
Yeah, let's keep it simple. JSON is just a text format, like stacking Lego blocks of data.
That's a perfect analogy.
Nice.
It uses brackets and labels to organize information so a computer can parse it instantly without guessing.
But does structuring it as JSON actually stop the AI from getting confused?
Yes, because it isolates variables. It separates the camera instructions from the subject description so the AI doesn't mix them up.
So it separates instructions so the AI doesn't get overwhelmed.
Exactly. It cleanly divides the concepts. Your car is in one Lego block. Your rain is in a totally separate Lego block.
Right.
The AI processes them independently.
Which stops the token bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
That is genuinely fascinating. It removes the poetry of language to enforce mechanical clarity.
But before we can translate our idea, we need to know exactly who we are translating for.
Yeah, we have to prepare the canvas.
Right.
That brings us to the setup phase. Because we aren't just talking to a generic AI, right? The very first step in Prompt Studio is choosing your specific AI video model.
And this is crucial. Prompt Studio supports a wide array of models right now. You can choose Veo, you can select Sora. You've also got Kling, Hailuo, Wan, and Seedance.
That is a lot of options. But why can't the tool just translate my idea into a universal machine language? Like, why does picking the exact model up front matter so much?
Because every model interprets words differently. Kling needs completely different phrasing and detail levels than Veo does to get the same result.
Right. Different AI models basically speak different dialects of prompting.
That is exactly it. They were trained on different data sets. They have different latent spaces.
Latent spaces.
Yeah. Latent space is basically a hidden mathematical realm where the AI stores visual concepts.
Okay, so Veo's latent space might link the word cinematic to a 35mm film grain, while Kling might link cinematic to, like, high-contrast modern digital lighting.
Spot on. So Prompt Studio actually adjusts the JSON structure based on the specific dialect of the model you select first.
Okay, so step 1 is locking in our model. Step 2 is choosing the right video type. And this isn't just a basic category tag, is it?
No, not at all. Selecting the video type tells Prompt Studio what visual elements it needs to hyper-focus on when building that JSON code.
Right. There are a few main options. I noticed there are distinct categories like cinematic or product. I imagine a product shot forces the AI to prioritize texture, whereas a cinematic shot focuses more on the overall mood.
You nailed it. Cinematic is for film-style scenes. It generates dramatic shots. The prompt will automatically focus heavily on lenses, depth of field, and dynamic lighting.
And then product is perfect for ads.
Yes, brand showcases. The AI needs to render materials perfectly.
Right.
Glass needs to look like glass. Brushed metal needs to catch the light exactly right.
What about the character option? How does that differ from cinematic?
Character is specifically for real or fictional people. The focus shifts entirely to facial consistency.
Okay.
It highlights micro expressions and accurate body positioning. It basically prevents the AI from giving someone 6 fingers or a melting jawline.
Which is always a plus.
Definitely.
Then we have B-roll.
B-roll is for simpler supporting footage. It works really well for voiceover visuals. These are usually static or slow-moving shots, very safe, very stable.
There's also a motion graphics setting.
This one is quite specific. It's for animated text or moving shapes. It tells the AI not to look for realistic people or physical lighting.
Like 2D stuff.
Yeah, it treats the prompt like an After Effects project.
And finally, we have stylist.
Stylist covers anime, claymation, or watercolor styles. It uses strong art direction instead of aiming for photorealism.
Okay, so for our deep dive today, let's actually build something. We are going to select Veo as our model.
Great.
And we're going to choose product as our video type.
Excellent choices. We want to build a really high-end commercial-grade shot.
2sec silence.
Yeah.
With those settings locked in, we move to the actual creative spark. This is where we feed our organic idea into the machine.
This is step 3. You enter your core idea into the text box.
Right.
And the beautiful thing is you don't need a massive, hyper-technical paragraph here.
You just need a clear subject, a clear setting, and a general visual direction.
Exactly.
Let's look at the exact prompt from our source material. I think it's a perfect example.
I agree. Here's the idea. A premium minimalist watch resting on fine black volcanic sand with soft golden light moving across its brushed metal surface. The camera slowly pushes toward the watch face while a gentle breeze shifts a few grains of sand, creating a refined cinematic product shot.
Let's really unpack why this is such a good starting idea, because it is incredibly deliberate.
It really is. First of all, it has one very clear subject, the premium minimalist watch.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no confusion about what the hero of this shot is.
Right. You aren't asking for a watch and a coffee cup and a person walking in the background.
Exactly.
It's focused. Second, it has a highly specific setting. Fine black volcanic sand.
Third, it specifies the lighting perfectly. Soft golden light. In a product shot, if you leave the lighting up to the AI, it will usually default to a really flat, muddy studio light.
And finally, it uses simple, highly controlled motion. The camera slowly pushes, a gentle breeze shifts the sand.
And we really need to highlight a vital warning here. Do not use too many actions. Less is definitely more when it comes to AI video.
So don't add multiple camera changes. Don't say pan left, then zoom in, then tilt up.
Right.
Don't include random location shifts. But Why is motion so uniquely difficult for an AI compared to generating a still image?
Because of a concept called temporal consistency.
Okay.
That means keeping objects looking exactly the same from one frame to another. Video is just dozens of still images played very fast.
And if the AI forgets what the watch looked like in frame 1 by the time it gets to frame 30?
The watch melts. Exactly.
Wow.
The more you move the camera, the more new information the AI has to invent. If you try to do too much, the final video becomes totally unstable. The AI just loses the thread.
Okay, so we've entered our safe, controlled idea. Step 4 is where the translation actually happens. You click Generate.
Prompt Studio takes that short, natural paragraph and mathematically dismantles it.
Yeah.
It turns it into a highly structured JSON prompt.
It separates everything into those neat little Lego blocks. The subject is locked in one section, the action is in another.
The camera instructions get their own dedicated space, lighting gets its own space. It essentially builds a complete digital environment from the ground up.
Whoa. Beat. Imagine having total directorial control over a digital universe, just dictating the exact physical laws of a scene through code.
It really feels like playing director. It is incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
But there is one more crucial piece to this puzzle before we render, the negative prompt.
Ah, yes, the negative prompt. This tells the AI what not to do.
Exactly. You use it to remove unnatural motion. You tell it explicitly not to distort the product. You tell it to remove extra objects from the background.
It also blocks unwanted text or weird watermarks from popping up. It prevents shaky handheld camera movements. But I'm curious, why is the negative prompt so critical for video compared to just generating images?
Because in video, errors compound over time. It prevents ongoing hallucinations like extra objects or weird text appearing halfway through the clip.
It acts like a strict guardrail against AI visual hallucinations.
Exactly right. If an AI hallucinates an extra finger in a photo, it's just one bad photo.
Yeah.
If it hallucinates an extra finger in a video, that finger is going to wriggle around for the next 5 seconds and completely ruin the entire shot.
Beat. So we have our beautifully structured JSON prompt. We have our negative constraints locked in. But a perfect script means absolutely nothing until you actually shoot the movie.
That brings us to our final phase, testing and execution. We are taking our structured code out of Prompt Studio.
And we are moving into Google Flow to generate the actual video. What exactly is Google Flow in this context?
Think of Prompt Studio as your screenwriter's desk. Google Flow is your actual film set.
Okay.
It is the platform where the heavy computation happens. It's the engine that brings the code to life.
So step 1 is grabbing our final JSON prompt. You just copy that whole block of structured text.
Then you open Google Flow. You create a brand new project workspace.
You paste the full prompt right into the input box. Now, we have to be very careful with our settings here, right?
Yes. The settings have to match our original goal perfectly. First, we select video as our output type, obviously.
Then we select ingredients as our creation mode. This is a specific toggle in the Flow interface. What does that do?
Ingredients mode basically tells Google Flow, hey, don't try to interpret my prompts creatively. Just read the raw code I am giving you and execute it exactly.
Oh, I see.
It forces the AI to respect the JSON structure.
That makes sense. We don't want it improvising now. The prompt already includes an aspect ratio, but we manually ensure it is set to 16:9 in Flow.
We want that cinematic wide frame. We set the duration to a short 6 seconds.
We generate a 1x version first, meaning we just want to see one initial result to test the waters.
Right. And we use the VIA 3.1 quality setting. We want the best visual fidelity possible for a product shot.
We should also talk about the cost of doing this. Rendering video is not free.
Far from it. It takes massive server power. This specific generation uses 100 credits in Google Flow.
And credits equal real money, or at least a limited compute allowance, which is exactly why we went through all the trouble of structuring it in Prompt Studio first.
Exactly.
We don't want to waste credits on a melting watch.
Exactly. So you click Generate, you wait a few minutes, and then you review the result.
This is where you have to take off your director hat and put on your scientist hat.
Right.
You have to be deeply analytical. You compare the video output directly to your original idea.
You start asking specific targeted questions. Does the watch actually keep its solid metallic shape the entire time?
Is the camera pushing in smoothly, or is it jittering around like it's on a bumpy track?
Does that golden light actually sweep across the brushed metal surface exactly like we asked?
Does the black sand movement stay soft and subtle? Or did the AI get confused and turn it into a chaotic sandstorm?
You are actively hunting for visual errors. Are there extra weird objects in the frame? Is there nonsense text floating in the air?
And look, AI is unpredictable. Chances are something will look a little bit wrong.
Yeah, usually.
When it does, you have to follow best practices for iteration.
The first rule is always returning to simple, natural camera movements.
Saying slowly pushes is always better than saying something like dynamic cinematic movement.
Because dynamic is subjective. Slowly pushes is an objective, physical instruction.
If there's a major problem, identify the primary issue first. Don't panic and scrap the whole thing.
This leads to the golden rule of prompting, the scientific method of AI art. Change one single detail at a time.
Wait, let me make sure I understand this workflow. If the Google Flow output totally fails, should I just rewrite my entire prompt from scratch?
Absolutely not. Only change one single variable at a time, like just the camera speed, so you know exactly what fixed the issue.
Change one thing, test it, then measure the exact difference.
Exactly. If you change the lighting, the camera, and the subject all at once, and the next video looks great, you have no idea which change actually solved the problem.
So if the lighting is wrong, just fix the lighting section in the JSON. Leave the camera instructions completely alone.
If the camera is pushing in too fast, just edit the camera speed. Leave the subject description exactly as it is.
You compare the revised version to the original. That is how you learn what actually works. You start to map the AI's logic.
And you can also use the regenerate button back in Prompt Studio.
Right. That gives you a fresh JSON structure without having to rewrite your original natural language idea. It just shuffles the deck a bit.
2-sec silence. It truly is a scientific process. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of discipline. Sponsored. We're back. Let's take a moment to step back and look at the big picture here.
We have covered a massive amount of technical ground today. JSON structures, latent spaces, temporal consistency.
Yeah.
But the core truth of all this is actually quite simple.
Prompt Studio is not a magic wand. It doesn't read your mind, and it does not guarantee a perfect result on the first try.
It will absolutely not do the creative thinking for you. You still have to have a compelling, highly controlled idea. Instead, it is a practical scaffolding tool. It gives your messy, organic ideas structural integrity.
It is incredibly valuable for beginners trying to learn the ropes. It's fantastic for creators and marketers who need reliable results.
Because it saves you an enormous amount of time. You do not have to build these complex, highly technical JSON prompts from absolute scratch every time you want to make a video.
And crucially, it prevents you from burning through your Google Flow compute credits needlessly.
You can test the basic architecture of your ideas quickly. You can refine them systematically.
You slowly learn exactly how the machine wants to be spoken to. You learn its specific language.
Beat. We want to leave you with something practical to try on your own today.
Pick one simple scene you have been imagining in your head. Keep it incredibly basic. Just one subject, just one setting.
Try breaking it down systematically before you ever type it into an AI. Separate the physical subject from the lighting. Separate the lighting entirely from the camera movement.
Write down what you definitely do not want to see in the frame. Build your own list of negative constraints.
See how manually organizing your thoughts into these rigid categories changes the way you approach the image itself.
2-sec silence. It really is a fascinating exercise in mental clarity.
You know, I've been thinking about a much deeper implication of all this, a philosophical question, really.
I am always curious to hear where your mind goes with these things.
If creating art with artificial intelligence fundamentally requires us to rigidly separate our organic imagination
into isolated, code-friendly categories like lighting, motion, and negative constraints.
Right. Does speaking the machine's language eventually change the way we humans visualize our own ideas?
Do we eventually start dreaming in JSON?
It really makes you wonder who is training who.
Me. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
It has been an absolute pleasure exploring this translation problem with you. Keep iterating and keep experimenting.
Take care, and we will catch you on the next one. Outro music.